Hey, it's Joe Amoia, founder and creator of GPSforlove.com. Are you having trouble finding that special guy you're looking for? You're confused and overwhelmed because you don't know what to do and where to go to meet the guy that's going to light you up? Well, if so, I want you to pay close attention. Many of the members here at GPS for Love constantly ask me, Joe, what do I do? How do I attract that kind of guy that I'm looking for? And I wish I can give them this magic formula like, well, you do this and then you do this and you do this and you do this. It simply doesn't work that way. But what I try and do is give them like the real advice that helps them get to the bottom of what's really going on. So my advice is if you're in that situation, you're looking for that special guy and you're having trouble meeting him, you've got to start with two things. It's like building a house. This foundation needs to be in place because if it's not in place, even if you meet a guy, you're going to wind up attracting the wrong guy, or you're going to wind up finding a guy who's not going to want to commit to you because there's something that scares him off. So if you're looking to find out how to attract that guy, there are two things you need to do. The first is you need to be yourself, and the second is you need to love yourself. Now, I know that sounds really easy and really simple, but just because it's simple doesn't mean that it's easy. Because this is where you have to get really honest with yourself. Because on the surface, you go, yeah, I like myself. Okay. Most people aren't going to say they don't like themselves, although there are some few who are honest enough to admit it. But the second is to be yourself, and that's to be authentically and genuinely who you are. You see, for most of us, underneath that is this underlying fear that we're not good enough or we won't be loved and accepted for who we are. So we feel we have to do things. We have to dress a certain way. We have to say certain things. We have to tell a guy we like certain music when we don't like certain music. Okay, that we can't be honest and express our true thoughts and feelings because if we do, he's not going to love us and he's not going to want to be with us. And it's really the wrong approach because what really attracts a guy and makes him want to commit to a woman is seeing that woman and knowing that she loves herself. Not that she's in love with herself, because there's a big difference. There's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. But being in love with yourself and loving yourself is totally different than that self-centered, egotistically, I need to show the world. There's what I call quiet confidence. When you love yourself, you simply live from that space. There's an energy behind it. And that's what's really attractive to people. So if you look at George Clooney and his wife, you look at, this woman who has this quiet, sexy, you barely hear her speak, right? You really don't see much from her, but you see that there's something about her. There's this energy. And that's why George Clooney says, you know what, man, that's a woman that I want to commit the rest of my life to. And I'm not saying that you have to be his wife because she's her, but the key is to be the best you can be. Now, one of the things you need to do that will help you that is first and foremost is to accept yourself, because part of being yourself is accepting that you're not perfect, accepting that you have some flaws, like, a big nose or no hair. It's accepting that you're not perfect, and that's okay, because the guy who's going to fall in love with you and who's going to want to be with you isn't going to be perfect either. I mean, that's part of the journey, is we are perfectly imperfect. And it's about loving and respecting and honoring someone who is simply an awesome person, someone special that you get along with, that you can work together with, that you can be on the same page with. And that's really what creates a great relationship. So in order to be yourself and to love yourself, you've got to start off by accepting yourself. So here's your homework for today. Here's a little mirror time. I want you to take a good, honest look, and on a scale of 1 to 10, take a look at your life and say, are you really being your true, authentic self? Or do you feel you need to be something or do something to find a man and attract him? And really, do you love yourself? Do you love and accept yourself truly? Because I promise you, when you get to that place where you can be yourself and just put yourself out into the world and love yourself for who you are and not expecting yourself to be perfect, that's when you put yourself in an energy level where you'll be able to attract the guy. Because the beauty is, there is no magic place where all the good guys hang out. I hear it all the time. Where are they? Where do I go find them? It's like, they're simply in this thing called life. Just go live your life. And when you're in that space, you will attract each other, because that's how it really works. So don't think you got to dress a certain way. You have to say certain, because that's not how it works. So that's your homework for today. Take that mirror time. And when you're done, go ahead and put your answers and your questions and your comments in the box below. As always, an honor and privilege to be with you. I'll see you next time. Much love.